In commemoration of World AIDS Day, Friday, December 1st, local production company Studio 327 will be premiering a documentary entitled Hear Me Out, Life with HIV. The documentary features interviews with persons in St. Kitts and Nevis living with HIV, sharing their stories and the challenges they encounter. The documentary will air on TVC Channel 40 on the cable on Friday, December 1st at 8 p.m. It will also be online on Studio 327's YouTube channel. Producer and executive producer of the documentary, Gardenia Richardson, shares the inspiration behind this project.
The decision to embark on this project stemmed from a genuine desire to somewhat humanize the experience of those affected by HIV and AIDS. I mean, over the years of working with HIV and AIDS, with persons living with HIV and AIDS and in the field, I witnessed the resilience, the bravery, and the unwavering spirit of some of these countless individuals who were living with the virus. Their stories often were sidelined and misunderstood, and I think it deserved a platform where their voices could resonate.
Richardson hopes the documentary will challenge misconceptions in St. Kitts and Nevis about HIV/AIDS.
Ultimately, my hope for Hear Me Out is that it serves as a catalyst for change. I hope it challenges misconceptions and help to break down some of the barriers and foster a more compassionate and informed dialogue around HIV and AIDS. This project stands as a testament to the countless of individuals that I've had the privilege of working with over the years, and it's my sincere hope that it honors their resilience and courage. Through Hear Me Out, my intent was to offer a lens into the lives of these incredible individuals, showcasing not just their struggles, but also their hopes and dreams and their aspirations.
In addition to TVC Channel 40 and the Studio 327 YouTube channel, the documentary will also air on TVC's website, www.tvcplus.live at 8 p.m. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
In a recent special edition of Healthwise, hosted by Dr. Joylette Woodley, the St. Kitts and Nevis journey towards a kidney transplant program at the JNF General Hospital was launched. The introduction of such a program was hinted at by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew on several occasions. Now the quest is formally launched. Dr. Drew, who is also the nation's Minister of Health, was a guest on the program that also included the Director of Health Institutions, Dr. Jensen Morton, and nephrologist Dr. Dunia Dieguez Velguez. According to Dr. Drew, a renal transplant program will benefit the people and the country in various ways while providing access to OECS nationals as well.
The options, as we mentioned, are dialysis, and now we want to offer the best option, which is renal transplant, so that our people can have access. You know, and we know at the hospital, and the nephrologist will get into it, there are a lot of young people who have end-stage renal disease, and the best option for these young people is to have a kidney transplant, which improves their lifestyle, better quality of life, cut cost, and give them a new leash and hope for the future. And therefore we want to offer this. Not only this, it shows that the JNF hospital is really looking at becoming more and more modernized. It's important that we advance the type of care we can offer at the hospital. So this is one of them. So I would say with the cost as well, we bear the cost. So when we cut the cost for the patients, the government carries the cost. So it's a significant cost for us. So if we can cut cost, that will help the government and of course help the treasury, and that funding that we put into this can be used for something else, of course. Nonetheless, we want to make sure that this is an option for our people here in the Federation, and we will discuss further as to how we can introduce it to people beyond the Federation so that we can help our brothers and sisters around the region, the sub-region and the region as a whole.
Commenting on the current patient situation and how renal transplants can be a game changer was Dr. Villegas of the JNF General Hospital.
We have around 40 patients in hemodialysis now, but less than 50 years old, around 15 patients.
Mm-hmm. Around 15 patients?
Around 15 patients, less than 50 years old. And of course, the kidney transplant is the best option for them because we will increase the quality of life of them, not only for the health the quality of life includes that the patient come to the hospital 3 times per week, and sometimes it's 4 hours or more time in the machine. And too much complication can come in dialysis patient. And what kidney transplant is the best, because it's an organ, it's a new organ. And dialysis only can replace remove the waste substance and the fluid, but the kidney will replace the whole function of the kidney. That patient will have better bones health, better less complication in the heart, the metabolism calcium phosphorus increase, the whole function of the kidney will be recovered.
While the country awaits the construction of a new hospital, significant plans are in play to upgrade the physical facility of the JNF General Hospital and substantially improve the range of services available to patients there. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
I found out that I was positive. My partner, I was hearing a lot of rumors about him. So I went and we sat, we spoke, and she told me
I am HIV positive.
I was shaking. I thought I was going to die the next day.
I never thought that it could have happened to me.
From day one, HIV has been shrouded in mystery and rumor and anxiety.
I decided not to disclose my status because of the discrimination.
We treat it like something from out of another world. Like HIV is the worst thing. It was really hard to tell and hard to break the news. So
here was a virus that was transmitted in the most intimate of acts between persons, and it sent the region into a panic. So someone made a choice that put them at risk, but how many of us do that all the time? Why does that require judgment?
Tom may be the only one you're having sex with. How sure are you that you are the only one Tom is having sex with?
So many young people lost their lives because they couldn't say, look, I have HIV.
Nothing is wrong with being young and having fun.
But each of us has to accept responsibility for the choices we make.
It's really important that everyone knows.
There are persons like myself who wants to come out and not hide behind a shadow.
What I would like to say is,
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
The Federation. This year's Sophia Zakaya Maynard for Academics and Performing Arts, Jacinda Wharton for Academics and Courage to Overcome, Michaelia Tucker for Academics and Leadership, Takila Hart Johnson for Youth Activism, Briannie Chapman for Leadership and Volunteerism, Dylan Theron for Academics, Tony Allen for Academics and Leadership, Meyer Daswani for Academics, Lamar Coker for Entrepreneurship, Jaden Liebert for Academics and Volunteerism, Malika Howell for Youth Activism and Technology, Yeanna Williams for Spiritual Commitment, Destiny Morris for Most Promising and School Pride, Kumeli Jules for Courage to Overcome and Most Promising, Kayla Huggins Simmons for Academics and Leadership, Akanye Samuel Francis for Sports, Michaela Martin for Entrepreneurship, Ashley Wilson for Visual Arts and Entrepreneurship, Alana Dunrod for Courage to Overcome, Patrina Pereira for Technology and Leadership, Danique Descent for Most Promising and Entrepreneurship, and Marticia Bedford for Entrepreneurship and Most Promising. Since the program's inception in 2010, a total of 325 teens have now been honored as the most remarkable teens in St. Kitts and Nevis, with the latest group of awardees included. I'm Andre Huey for SKN News.
An impasse over establishing the Integrity Commission on Nevis due to the absence of a leader of the opposition in the two-member opposition Nevis Island Assembly resulted in the successful passage of the Integrity in Public Life Amendment Bill 2023. The Commission required the recommendation of an individual from the leader of the opposition after consultations to serve on the three-member commission. A falling out of the two opposition members who were elected to the Nevis Island Assembly meant none would give support to the other to be leader of the opposition. It meant, therefore, that the Integrity Commission could not be constituted nor be functional. The Integrity in Public Life Amendment Bill 2023 brings a legal mechanism that could be followed to set up the commission when there is no leader of the opposition.
This amendment is telling us that if there was only one person on the opposition benches, then that one person, even though they're not leader of the opposition, would be able to advise the Governor General, Deputy Governor General, as to the appointee to the commission. We've gone further and we've said, where there is more than one person, as is the case today, then let them get together and agree, even though none of them is leader of the opposition. Let them get together and agree a nominee. And then the Governor General will appoint, the Deputy Governor General, forgive me, will appoint that nominee. So if the member for number 4 and the member for number 5 can sit down and say, our nominee is Mr. X, we solve the problem tomorrow. But where there is no member on the opposition because they didn't win a seat, or the members that are over there cannot agree, but the legislation, the proposed amendment is saying that the ball is in their court. And well, if they say they cannot agree on a nominee, then the ball is then kicked back over to the government and to the Premier to constitute the commission after consultation with the opposition.
With no recommendation coming from the opposition benches for the third nominee to the commission, it would have resulted in a setback in the good governance procedures on Nevis. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
I found out that I was positive. My partner, I was hearing a lot of rumors about him. So I went and we sat, we spoke, and she told me
I am HIV positive.
I was shaking. I thought I was going to die the next day.
I never thought that it could have happened to me.
From day one, HIV has been shrouded in mystery and rumor and anxiety.
I decided not to disclose my status because of the discrimination.
We treat it like something from out of another world. Like HIV is the worst thing. It was really hard to tell and hard to break the news. So
Here was a virus that was transmitted in the most intimate of acts between persons, and it sent the region into a panic. So someone made a choice that put them at risk, but how many of us do that all the time? Why does that require judgment?
Tom may be the only one you're having sex with. How sure are you that you are the only one Tom is having sex with?
So many young people lost their lives because they couldn't say, look, I have HIV.
Nothing is wrong with being young and having fun.
But each of us has to accept responsibility for the choices we make.
It's really important that everyone knows.
There are persons like myself who wants to come out and not hide behind a shadow.
What I would like to say is
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
St. Lucia has taken another step in creating a legal framework to govern and regulate the cannabis industry. The Regulated Substances Bill was presented by Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte in the House of Assembly on Friday. She highlighted that the purpose of the bill is to establish the Regulated Substances Authority, Regulated Substances Tribunal, Regulated Substances Fund, and to provide for the licensing of regulated substances and enforcement matters.
St. Lucia's attempt at regulation in this context is different. But different, Mr. Speaker, not always be seen as negative. As servants of the people, the Regulatory Substance Authority and framework developed is, to our mind, part of an informed, robust, modern, and bespoke approach to legislation. Mr. Speaker, as I indicated in September, our work is far from complete, but our energy, determination, and passion to till what we believe is fertile soil will not fail and will yield much fruit in due season. We remain resolute in our promise to develop not just a robust cannabis industry, but a broader mechanism for regulating substances in our fair Helen.
Hippolyte says the process of drafting legislation for regulated substances demanded a cautious and meticulous approach. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre views the stride as a move towards righting the injustices of the past and bringing attention to the financial obstacles of small island developing states.
Smoking marijuana in public is an offense, etc. But I just want to urge to calm the expectations that are rising out of this cannabis situation. There are some people who believe that the expectations and the country's economy will change overnight, and that is the way to go. It's a way to diversify the resources of the country, but it's not a magic wand. It will not overnight create economic growth and economic development. It will help, it will assist, structural, organized, and I speak to my colleagues who in the countries, they have gone that way, and it's taking time. It's taking a lot of time. The returns take time, Mr. Speaker. But there's one thing that we must deal with, and it is something that really irks me as Prime Minister. The double standards that exist as far as cannabis is concerned, and as far as many other things are concerned, including economic policy. Up till now, proceeds from the sale of cannabis cannot go through the normal banking system. Up to today, you can't go for the SWIFT, etc. You can't go to the system. They call it illegal. They say it's money laundering, etc. Up to today. But in cities, in some of the major countries, there are cannabis cafes. There are people go in and smoke and sell and trade and put the money in the same bank that they say we can't pass our money through if we sell it.
Among those credited with laying the groundwork leading up to the regulatory framework for cannabis reform are National Green Party leader Andre De Caris, Senior Legal Officer Dylan Inglis, and former Commerce Minister Bradley Felix.
I notice you have 7 members, but no direct individual coming from the Ayanola Council of Rastafari, considering all of what? Sorry? No, wait. 7. Yeah, 22. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, and the Director of the Bureau, representative of civil society, and 3 persons with expertise in business, medicine, science, or research. When I think of all what that grouping had to deal with, I think they should have a rightful place on the board, on the authority, in making decisions on the way forward, which to give them the rightful position.
The Regulated Substance Bill eventually passed the lower house of Parliament on Friday and will be debated in the next sitting of the Senate. A lawmaker says the cannabis bill is expected to be presented to the House of Parliament within the coming months.
The authorities are investigating the cause of death of a 10-month-old child. It's understood that she was being treated at the Bustamante Hospital for respiratory symptoms and fever. She was subsequently diagnosed with bronchopneumonia. However, hospital officials say blood was observed in the child's diaper. Closer inspection revealed her vagina was bruised and there were lacerations to her body. When contacted, the Child Protection Agency, CPFSA, says the child was brought to the hospital by a family member. In a statement, CPFSA says after a medical inspection, doctors suspected that the child was a victim of abuse.
A mother held in captivity by Hamas walks alongside her 11-year-old daughter, now in a wheelchair. But mothers reportedly almost didn't make it on the list of those being released. 3 women and 8 children of Israeli dual citizenship were eventually handed over to the Red Cross and brought back to Israel. On Saturday, Hila Rotem, a 13-year-old, was freed, but her mother Raya is still in Gaza.
The deal specifically said you should release children together with their parents or mothers, and in this case it was a rude violation of the agreement by Hamas, and just cynical, I think. I mean, why do something like this? They were clearly held together because that's what Emily and Hila says, and they were just torn apart.
The full terms and conditions of the ceasefire have never been made public, but both sides have accused each other over not honouring the agreement. It's been an emotional few days for the families of those held captive. Bittersweet, they say. While some have been reunited with their loved ones, others are hoping they'll be next. Mediator Qatar has announced a 2-day extension of the ceasefire and return for 20 captives to be freed. Hamas has confirmed it, but no word from Israel on it, except for this.
The effort to bring the hostages home is progressing, and we'll update the families and public as things happen. We need to be patient. We're managing a framework. Nothing is final until it actually happens.
News of the extension has already been well received by Israelis. Many are hoping that soon it won't just be women and children released, but men too. Sarah Khairat, Al Jazeera, Tel Aviv.
At the conservation-focused Tusk Awards held on Monday in London, Britain's Prince William put in an appearance calling for climate action.
Those living in Africa emit just a quarter of the emissions than that of the average global citizen. Yet the African continent is set to incur disproportionate loss and damage from climate change. But we do have the power to change this, and the stories we've heard tonight provide both optimism and hope.
The event, which awards conservationists working in Africa, honoured 3 conservationists on Monday for their work in Zimbabwe, Cameroon and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
There must be no let-up in our collective efforts to stem the terrifying loss of species and habitats we're all bearing witness to. Thank you for being here tonight to celebrate the remarkable individuals that are leading those efforts to ensure we all can live on a healthier planet. I wish you all an enjoyable evening.
The Prince of Wales has long been a supporter of the Tusk charity and helped to launch the award ceremony 11 years ago.
Let's bowl off with some cricket, shall we? One senior Jamaica Scorpions player has condemned what he has termed the mistreatment of local players and criticised the selection policy of the Jamaica Cricket Association, JCA. However, JCA President Wilfred Billy Heaven has come out in defence of the association's policy.
The Jamaica Scorpions went into this season's regional Super 50 competition as the defending champions. But in the midst of hope, despair reigned as they did not win a match. A post-mortem is currently underway to examine the hapless performances. But for spinner Jamie Merchant, the writing was on the wall. The 34-year-old made his debut 10 years ago, but says over the last couple of years, local cricket has become rotten.
Yeah, a lot of players facing it, man. And it is even worse when you are around the system. One, you say anything that they think. It could be a good idea, you know, but it shouldn't be coming from a player that doesn't play for West Indies. You know. Because only certain players can see that slipping. You know. You then drop all of the catch them on the field and still turn up a slipping. You know.
While saying he expected the result, the man with 18 first-class matches and 19 list A games also questioned the quality of the coaching staff led by Andrew Richardson.
They are not ready to coach a Jamaica team. I think them personally they do better with the girl. They have too much ego for coach. Big men. I remember saying what them now play again. They are coach now. You have to put on the coaching cap now and deal with that thing. If I do a thing where you don't like, you still have to give me some confidence and make me know say, oh, the competition not done. Me need better for me next year. I play a boy thing and 10 bad word across road. This one, you know, for they and Ray and them look vibe. Them not ready for the Alevria. Alevria bigger than them.
We have received some reports on the competition, on the tournament. We will review them, we will do our own analysis, and we will make our determination as to how we go forward.
But Merchant is not having the platitudes and also questioned the allocation of contracts.
No, a man I get contract, you don't know him get contract for him. Him no bowl a ball with Jamaica yet. Him no mash up no season. I see in a cup, you know. You know much century and 5 wickets all me have for Manchester. Me have 8 century with Manchester, you know. In a senior cup, you know. When senior cup was a thing, you know. Me have 5 wickets all for Manchester, you know. When senior cup was a thing, you know. And enough time with them out here make Jamaica team much less contract. Half of the youth them live on the contract list. How much of them can make a Jamaica team right now? Them pick a Jamaica. 5 of the youth them when have contract cannot make the team.
The bowling all-rounder also cited an instance where he became a scapegoat, which he believes ultimately led to him losing his contract at the start of this year's cycle.
It was from 4 days. We had the contract during Super 50. Came back and played 4 days and got sent home from 4 days for no reason. No valid reason. Jamaica was just losing and I was told that Jamaica is losing so somebody has to go home. And one of those people would be me. That was it. After I got home and never get a call or a message from nobody at JCA, no coach. I was not even invited to trials.
For the first time, Jamaica's team was not selected by a panel due to contract issues. But JCA President Wilford Bideheaven said not much else could be done.
Recent squad that we sent away, if you look at the composition of that squad and the makeup of that squad, it is perhaps, if it is not the best, it's certainly amongst the best side that we have seen.
The Jamaica Scorpions are now in preparation for the start of next season's 4-day competition. Jerome Foster, TVJ Sports.